Hello, 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 everybody. Hi, my name is Eve's Creation Paint Party. It's Friday night. What? How-to trees. We're going to do how-to trees. So I got nothing to show you. Just a canvas I'm going to be covering up. Say hello, if you paint with me. Let me know if anyone's painting with me. We're going to learn all sorts of things about trees. So I'm going to show you a tree from Anti View. I'm going to show you how to add depth. I'm going to show you how to do the branches. I'm going to show you how to do the textures on the bark. Lots and lots and lots of stuff to learn tonight. So I hope you enjoy this video. And replays are available on my YouTube channel. Same name on the YouTube channel, Eve's Creations Paint Party on YouTube. So make sure you head over there. Hit the subscribe button. There's a ton of videos. I don't even remember how many. I always shortchange myself. I say there's like 200. There's more than that. There's plenty of them. Lots and lots and lots and lots of videos. So that is my YouTube link. Okay. All of my videos are free to watch. Tips are appreciated. I have Venmo and I have PayPal. There's my PayPal link, and let me get my Venmo link up for you guys. Alright, 6,000%. If you would like an Eve's Artistry original painting, you're going to head on over to Etsy, Eve's Creations Art on Etsy. Okay, go visit the shop, like the shop, do all of those great things because that helps me plenty. Peruse the art. There's something for everybody. Absolutely 6,000%. I'm still looking for Venmo. Oh, it's in here somewhere. It's in here somewhere. There it is. I found it. Alright. So, all of my videos use the same exact brushes every single time we paint. So, all of those videos I was telling you about on YouTube use these brushes. And I sell them as a set. So, if you're interested in getting a set of brushes, you get 8 brushes, right? There's the big boy. There's the fluffies. There's the mini-me and tiny and the nifties, all in a nice storage bag. Care instructions. If you follow the care instructions, big boy and the fluffies, we're going on like 9 years. I don't know. I always say 8, 9, 10, somewhere in there. It's a long time. So if you'd like a brush set, DM me. Because as soon as I need to restock, the prices will be going up, which would be very soon. So 10 years old, guys. 10 years old. Just to let you know. Alright, so let's see. What else? If you send support of $5 or more, you get free brushes. You get the little nifty brushes. And I send them out with a thank you note. So you just direct message me on Facebook. Send me your address. And only place to post your address. And I will get your free nifty brushes out to you. Alright, so as a thank you for sending in support. Everybody's coming in. The fam is coming in. It's Friday. Woot woot. Holla. Alright, it's roll call time. Roll call. Marsha is here. How are you doing, Marsha? What's going on? Happy Friday. Hello, 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 Cindy. How are you, darling? Tina B is in the house. What's up, Tina B? How are you, sweetheart? My OG Tina B. Joan is here. My OG Joan. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. There's Penny in the house. What's up, Penny? How are you doing, sweetheart? And we got Kimberly hanging out with us. What's up, Kimberly? How are you? Elizabeth is here. Hi, Elizabeth. How are you, darling? I was wondering about the brushes, too. I kept looking at Hobby Lobby. Yeah, yep. Now you know. Now you know the dealio. What's up, Carrie? Carrie from Minnesota. Everybody give Carrie a warm Eve's Creations family welcome. Welcome, Carrie. And Carolyn is here. Hello, 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 Carolyn. How are you, sweetheart? What's going on, everybody? Tina, I did see your magnolia tree on the comments. Everybody had the chance to comment what tree they would like to see this evening. I hope hope you can shake it soon, Elizabeth. And Tina did comment a magnolia tree, but it was just earlier today, and yeah. It's in the data bank, but I already mentally prepared for everything getting shown tonight because nobody else commented what trees they wanted to see, so it kind of turned into a different live. But I got you, girl. All right. And besides, the magnolia tree is more about flowers anyway. You're trying to sneak a flower in there on me. That's what you're trying to do. They happen to be my favorite tree. Well, one of my favorites. I have one in my yard, actually. So I totally love that idea. Totally love it. All right, so I'll let you know what brushes I'm using when I'm using them. And we also have black, blue, red, white, and yellow. Same colors every single time we paint is on the palette. So I'm going to put a background on here, and it's going to be... I did see it, and I was trying to wrap my head around incorporating it in what I was already going to show you guys tonight, and it just started getting all mucked up. So, and I don't want to show you guys something that's mucked up. I want to make sure I have a clear, conscious thought of what I'm doing and what I'm showing you. So I am just grabbing blue. It has a little bit of yellow in it. I'm not mad at that. And I'm going to grab white. And we're just going to do the crisscross background. Right? That's all we're doing. Crisscross. Little X's. Boop, 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 boop. Like that. You want to add instant texture to your paintings? Crisscross background. That's it. That's all you need to do. Just like that. Exactly, Tina B. Exactly. Yes, yes, yes. They are. I have one in my yard, and I absolutely love it. And it's getting the magnolias on it. It's the time of the year for the magnolias to be on it. And I definitely like it more than the other trees that are around it because, yeah, I know, you're trying to sneak flowers in on me. Because the other trees that are around it, I keep trimming back to make sure it has enough room. So, I'm like, back you beasts. My magnolia tree needs some space. So, it's definitely a favorite of mine, that is for sure. So, crisscross, applesauce. Aw, you are, Joan? Aw. I'm allergic to a lot, too. I am hyper-allergic to a lot of things. I've never had just a magnolia flower in front of me, so I would not know if I am allergic to specifically a magnolia. But I seem to bode pretty well with other flowers, like if I get a bouquet or something, I'm okay, so... Still grabbing just blue and white, guys. Just blue and white. How was everybody's holiday yesterday? You guys barbecue or go see the Boom Booms or anything? Oh, just a friendly reminder, all my videos are kid friendly. I'm going to try to watch this thing. If you guys can watch your comments, that would be great. Thinking about fireworks made me think about the kiddos. I like fireworks. Excuse me. I don't like the crowds or anything that you need to deal with to go see fireworks. I just kind of stay home and let my neighbors give me the fireworks show. That's what I do nowadays. Too hot just to meal with the folks? Yeah. It is warm here too. Jersey's hitting about 100. With the humidity, So, we got our nice textured background on there. See that? Easy peasy lemon squeezy, guys. You guys can totally do that. I'm going to swirl tap dab my brush. And I'm going to grab some yellow. Ah, that's awesome. That's awesome, Carolyn. Woot woot. That's amazing. Very good. Happy birthday, Penny. I'm just going to grab some yellow. And I'm going to put in very soft green areas up the top here. Right? My blue's still kind of wet. I'm sticking and moving so it doesn't blend out completely. And I'm just doing crissy-crossy things. Nothing spectacular. And grabbing just the yellow with the blue on here. It's giving me very soft green tones. Hello, Shauna. How are you, sweetheart? Those sounds like fun. Dinner with the folks, having the grandkids. Doing a dinner for a birthday. You guys have a good old time out living life out there. Woo woo. Hi, Tamara. Just grabbing yellow again. And in my mind, I'm thinking tree. Right? And I'm thinking my tree here. So if you notice, I am spreading it out to that direction, but I'm not filling in these spaces completely. Doing great. Glad to hear it, darling. Glad to hear it. Okay, and as I get further down, I'm doing a smaller area, very little paint, just adding the idea that there's green going on back there somewhere. Okay, now I'm going to mix some brown, right? I'm going to keep the green on my brush because green and red make brown. Right, our browns. Ready? Yellow, red, white, blue. Mix it all together. See what you get. Am I getting brown? It's looking a little green. Looking a little green. I want to add more red to it. Okay, notice I'm just mushing around, scooping it, seeing what's going on. I got like a purpley brown. I'm okay with that. It's dark. It's good for a first coat. So, I'm going to start down here. And I'm going to hold my brush back here. I'm not worrying about a fine tip because these are going to be thicker branches. Okay, so pull. And this paint's very wet, so I'm just putting in the idea of where my bigger branches are going to go. Grab some more paint. Grab some more paint. Awesome, glad to hear it, darling. Alright, let's take this one right off the canvas. Shoot. Let's take this one right off the canvas. Shoot. Now I'm going to make this very large on the bottom because it's like you're looking up the tree. Hello, 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 Becky. How are you doing? Right, so we're going to have a very big trunk right here. Because it's like we're looking up at the tree. We're not looking this way, we're looking up. Right? Wipe my brush off, get all the goopy gobby out of it from mixing the colors together. I am doing well. We're learning about trees tonight. There is a how-to trees on my YouTube already. You gotta scroll really far down. It was one of the first videos I ever did. You'll get to see baby Eve. Alright, brown paint just on the tip of the brush. Put it up to my canvas. I'm gonna follow this out. Shoop. Right, put in a little thinner one. Everything's soft and gliding. Okay, very little pressure. Make sure you have a nice fine point on your brush. Hold your brush back here. You're gonna get thick lines if you do the control freak grip. You're gonna get thick lines. Move your hand back and let the brush glide and do what it's supposed to do. You know exactly who I'm talking to out there. You. I'm talking to you. Move your hand back. Make sure you keep getting a fine point on this. Very light pressure, hardly any pressure at all. All right. And if you take this back, make it thicker, 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 right? Thicker as you work your way in. So if you happen to have a thick branch, because you're not listening, you have to make everything else thicker, working your way backwards. Okay, just like that. And you got to clean your brush every once in a while, because if you don't clean your brush, it's going to get all stuck up. It's going to get all sorts of paint in its bristles, and it won't go flat for you anymore. Alright, so look at your brush. Pay attention to what your brush is doing, because every once in a while you got to clean it to get it nice and pretty again. Okay, what's going on here is going to happen over there, so you got to pay attention. You got to pay attention to what's going on with your brush. Okay? Alright, now that we have that in place, right, the brown's got to dry. We know all about brown, right? You keep dinking with it when it's wet, what happens? It starts to lift off the canvas. You gotta let your layers of brown dry. For some reason, brown is very tricky, and it likes to lift off if you keep trying to put more on and it's wet. So keep that one in mind. Lots of little things. I'm telling you guys to pay attention. I'm done. It's been hot for too long. It's all over. Alright. So now I'm going to do some more greens. Okay, so softness in the background. We're going to pull it closer. The more close it gets, right? And we're thinking this is the close part. This is the close part because we're standing here looking up. Okay, I actually have one of those. Swing chairs in my yard, right? And the canopy got destroyed, so I actually put it under one of my trees. So my tree is the canopy over the swing. And I literally sit in the swing chair and just look up through this tree. So that's what I'm recreating for you guys, is that what I'm actually seeing outside. The pictures that I posted with the event, that's from sitting, those are my photographs from sitting in my swing chair. So that's what I get to look up at. Alright, so I'm going to grab some white. I'm going to grab some blue. I'm going to grab some yellow. Yep, very cool. And I'm going to mix that all together. And I want like Kelly greens. I don't want turquoises, so I gotta, if it's starting to look turquoise, I gotta grab more yellow. Alright, we got a nice little base of green here. I'm going to load up my brush. All this wonderfulness. I'm going to go back in and put another layer of greens. So I am going to start at the part that's closest to me, because that's going to have the most paint. Hi, Jen. How are you, sweetheart? Everybody say hi to Jen. He's coming on over from TikTok. What's up, darling? He's a woodworker. He does amazing things. Make sure you follow that man. Follow that man. Do I have to tell you twice? Follow that man. What's up, Jen? It's a kid show, just to let you know. Sometimes we get a little randy over on TikTok. Anyway, green paint. All that beautifulness in here. We're going to come in here and we're going to, here, there, not everywhere, smash this paint in. Now, never been to a Facebook Live before? Now, I can't see the difference between the two, and I don't want that. So, I am going to lighten this green. Actually, let's darken this green. So, I'm going to darken this green a little bit, and I'm going to take some of my brown that I made before and put it in my green. You don't always have to use black to darken stuff. You never been to a Facebook Live before of your first? Alright, so now that's darker. And I'm just putting my brush on and let me show you. Putting my brush on and I'm kind of just doing light little sweeps with it. Here, there, not everywhere. You never been to a Facebook Live before? Well, welcome in. You asked for it. No. Say hi to the fam. Alright, I'm going to cut across my trunk. And as I work up, just dabbing and smushing these areas in, I'm letting the paint run out on my brush because up here is going to be further away. So it's going to be less defined as far as the different types of color. And I'm going to go back in and clean up any goopy gobbies I might have made. Okay, just like that. There's a glare. Is there a glare? There's like a glare, isn't there? That does not fix the glare. The glare is coming from the overhead light. Okay, I'm just going to stand like this the whole rest of the live. So you guys don't get the glare. question? Alright, is that better? Better? Alright, I'm literally going to paint with my canvas tilted at an angle. We're going to be changing the setup around here pretty soon, so we're not going to have to worry about such things. Now I really do feel like Michelangelo because this is leaning towards me. Oh, this is fun. Alright. Now, hi Kimberly! I'm trying to put a background on a canvas pad on the reverse side that has the texture. Sometimes the back side of those canvas pads are coated, so the leaves don't stick together. You might have to scruff the paint in there if the texture is really prominent. Just going like this, it's going to separate and it's not going to fill in all the spaces. You'll have to like scrub it on there. But it also may have a coating on it depending on what you have. Sometimes they have a coating to keep the sheets from sticking together. Alright, I'm going to wipe off my brush. And we're going to go back to our browns. Alright, and I'm going to follow what I put in before. Add another layer of brown to it. Here, there, not everywhere. Don't redo the whole entire branch. Part of making the depth is letting it peek in and out of the green stuff. Okay. So like where I put the foliage going over my trunk, I am just going to dab into that, not paint over it. Now I'm going to make more brown, yellow, red, some blue, some white. I'm going to make another pile of brown. Will you ever match your browns up to the exact brown you made before? Probably not. So if you want to use a certain color brown for a lot of your painting and you want it to be exactly that color, you need to mix a lot of it to be able to use it throughout your painting. But having a different color brown is what we want at this point, because we're going to create texture in our bark. And all I'm going to do is I got my paint loaded into my brush, and I'm just going to do little flicking actions holding the brush up and down. Flicky doos, flicky doos. Okay, and then I'm going to go over those and smooth those out. I'm going to wipe my brush off because see how all the paint, remember I was talking about before, all the paint's in here? So you're getting that kind of tip on it. So you need to wipe your brush out to make sure you're getting that all out of the inside of your brush out. See how much paint was in my brush? Causing it to be all thick. Okay, so you got to make sure that you pull that paint out of there. So now I have a nice thin brush again to be able to work my way up the tree. And I didn't over mix my brown on purpose. So this way, as I grab the paint, there's going to be different colors of brown going on while I do this. And I'm just doing small little flicks. That's it. Hi, Kimberly. Small little flicks. And once the branch gets too thin, you just stop. That's all. Or you switch to a smaller brush. One or the other. And now the tree has all these textures in it. Okay, I'll give anybody that's painting along a chance to catch up mustard. Let this all a little dry for a second or two there. Let's do a little roll call. We got Shauna, Marcia, Cindy, Tina B, Joan, Penny, Kimberly, Elizabeth, Carrie, Carolyn, Tamara, Becky, and Kimberly in the house. We're learning how to trees, people. How to trees, leveling up our tree game. Now I am going to switch I am going to switch to a tiny. Tiny is a small round brush. I want to make sure he's got a nice point. See, I'm not going to use this one because he's all over the place like me. Alright, you roll tiny in your paint. And we're going to add some more branches. Okay. Just some suggestion of branches. I'm not even really connecting these. I'm not doing a solid line. I'm just giving a suggestion of more branches. And I'm going to take some darker brown and add a little darker to those. notice I'm skipping over things. I'm not making them a straight, like just doing a solid line. I'm literally just like kind of dashing these into place. Okay. Using the darker brown, or you could use the lighter brown, like whatever. Like if you start with the darker, add a little lighter on top of it. If you start with the lighter, add a little darker on top of it. Whatever floats your boat. Okay, how the tree connects here, you're gonna put darker areas in to separate where your branches meet the trunk, right? So you gotta put in those little areas where everything meets to the trunk. So you just take darker brown. Say this branch is behind the trunk. I'm going to put darker brown in there. And now it looks like it's coming out from behind the trunk. Then I'm going to take the lighter brown and clean that up. Make my trunk a little fatter there. I'm going to take the darker brown, and where the foliage is going over my trunk, I'm going to add some flicks of the darker there. Everything is flicky-doo and dabs and dashes. There's no solid lines here, guys. Everything's flicky-doo, dabs and dashes, okay? So up here, these two guys are meeting, so I'm going to put this guy with darker paint back here. And this is your world. You can put whatever branches you want wherever. Okay, so I took the darker paint, I put him back there. And I'm going to take the lighter paint, clean this guy up a little bit so you can tell he's definitely in front of the other guy. Right? And that's how you add depth to your tree. Because you have branches that are in front and behind the trunk of the tree. Okay? That's how you add the depth to the tree, guys. Right? Say this branch is meeting right on the trunk where we could see it. So I'm going to do a lighter area here. Okay? Very cool. Very cool and very easy. So I'm going to do a lighter area here. And then I'm going to darken this little pocket right there. So now you can see that that branch is coming out of the side of the tree right there. Okay, that's how you do that. And now I am just going to take this smaller brush and I'm going to take different browns and I'm just going to put long, elongated, flicky lines. Very cool, right, Marcia? Very cool. And not hard to do. Just something you need to be aware of. Right? I'm taking the darker paint with this smaller brush. And I'm going to do elongated flicks through my trunk to add even more textures to it. Hey, Claire. How are you, sweetheart? So we're adding even more texture to the tree trunk. The more times you do this, the better it's going to look. Like I said though, just make sure that your paint is dry, your browns are dry before you start adding stuff to it. Because if it's wet, it's just going to get goopy and wind up coming off of your canvas. Claire's in the house. What's up, darling? Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Stars is enabled. I have the PayPal and the Venmo, so just keep in mind that all of that for you to send support so I can keep teaching you guys cool things. So cool, as Marsha says. And also, you know, let me, hands and hearts to Claire, everybody. Give her some hands and hearts. She's not feeling well. And Elizabeth, before, with her cold, she can't seem to shake her cold. Let's give her some hands and hearts, too. Because, everybody needs some healing blessings heading their way. 6,000%. I can't find the hands right now, but there you go. I love trees too. So now, I'm going to small tap dab Big Boy. I'm going to get all the brown out of them. And we're going to go back to our greens. Oh, yes, there you go, Carolyn. You found the hands. I couldn't find the hands. Okay, so I got my pile of green going on right here. I'm going to grab a whole lot of yellow. Add it to my green to brighten this green up. I'm going to grab some white. Brighten this green up. Again, not over mixing, just smashing. That's all I'm doing. And I'm going to come in here using the corner of my brush, and I'm going to dab in I'm using the corner of my brush, guys. See how it's getting smashed down? I'm going to dab in. And the harder you smash it, the bigger your dab's going to be. So, and then I'm going to flip my brush over, use the other corner. So I do light dabs for the outer areas. And then I smash harder for the pieces that are closer and are going to be bigger to me because of my point of view. And now I'm smashing really hard because the paint is running out on my brush. And plus this stuff is all going to be really close to me. Alright, wipe my brush off, get all that paint that's in the middle out of there. Grab some more paint. And you can go... Oh, you do need ice cream. All right, Carolyn. Go enjoy your time with your family. That's awesome. I'm so happy for you. Have some for me. And you can do this a little at a time if you want. You can just put a little bit of paint on the corner of your brush. And thank you to everybody who participated in Dollar Day. I appreciate every single one of you. Carolyn, Becky, and Tina, thank you very much. Even though it was Dollar Day the second day because I forgot on July 1st. Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn, for that. Thank you, Tina, and thank you, Becky. And this is further away, so, yes. So, I'm making it smaller, and I'm not using as much paint, so it doesn't wind up being brighter. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. So I'm smushing this in a little bit more because it's going to be further away. Remember, I'm looking at the tree going this way. And I'm going to soften all this out. And I'm literally just smashing with the corners of Big Boy. That is all I'm doing. Here, there, not everywhere. And this is how you add your layers of green. So you would just keep doing layer after layer after layer of green, making this more detailed because it's closer to you, and then this up here would be softer and less detailed. And you can even venture into grabbing smaller brushes, like I can grab Mini Me right now, the small shader. Go in and grab some darker green, and you can go in and start adding like darker green areas. It's really up to you. The more you add to your tree, the better it's going to look. The more you decide to invest into doing your foliage and everything else, the better it's going to look. So where those breaking points are, where you put the trunk skipped over, put a little piece of trunk, you want to definitely go back into those areas. And here and here, and you're going to definitely smash some greens so that gets framed correctly the way it would be for a tree. There's another one right here. So you want to make sure you fix all those areas. Here's another one right here. Another one here. And then for your final touches, what you would do to finally finish it off right? Go back and forth, add your depth, add your layers, right? If you're looking up this way, this part right here is going to have lots of details, lots of different things going on, and you soften it as it goes up because it's going to be further away from you. And then you can take your detail brush, your Mr. Nifties, or whatever else you have. You make sure that your paint is nice and thin, right? Like soft pudding. And this is when you go in and add all the little detailed branches. Again, more here, less up there. So you can clean up anything that before, go in. And you weave these in and out also. And you're just going to add in all these small branches wherever they live in your world of your tree. And that's it, guys. That is how you do a tree. Some more advanced steps for you there. A little level up on tree, right? I've showed you how to put in the shape of a tree. I don't know how many times. But now you know how to make your branches go in and out. Now you know how to do your foliage as far as your view is concerned. Right? Now you know how to put in the details of making your bark, right? Making it nice and textured on there. And all of those good things. 6,000%. Joan, I haven't forgotten about your volcano. I'm still trying to wrap my brain around it, but I did not forget about you, darling. So, you have everything you need. I want to see beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trees from you guys. Yep. Beautiful, beautiful trees. And, yep, that's all you need to do is basically, you can make this more extreme, which means making this even fatter and longer. And there's, we did one. Remember the fall birch tree was an ant's eye view? So if you want to know how to do that perspective, the fall birch tree on YouTube is a complete ant's eye view of you looking up the center of the tree. This is more like you're looking this way. Alright guys, you guys are absolutely awesome. I love you. Venmo, PayPal, stars on the reels. Hit the likes, hit the follows, hit the subscribes. Hit all the buttons for me. It's free to do. Helps me immensely. Still want to do our group page for subscribers. Still need buttons hit. So if you guys can hit those buttons, doesn't cost you anything. Just tap that little heart. It's amazing the things it does on my end of stuff. So I love you all. Y'all warm my heart. I expect to see beautiful trees. And I'll see you next Friday, okay? You have fun and go create. Alright, love yous. Bye!